Alright, so this is going to be the ultimate guide to the REESE bass, right? So you hear the REESE bass everywhere, absolutely everywhere, in basically every EDM genre. So, I'm going to show you how to make it. And I'm also going to show you how to make some cool little variations, if you will, right? So, let's begin. So we're going to start off here with our initialized preset in Serum, right? So just the basic, I'm going to get the basics right out of the way. Really all the REESE bass is two oscillators being detuned, right? So for example, throw an oscillator B and it's a REESE bass, and it's a bass. We want it a bit lower, right? So put this unit down like 2. Put this one down like, that one's down 3. This one's down about 2. To get that REESE action, all you're gonna want to do is mess with the coarse and the fine pitch, right? So we'll go with the fine, right? That might sound familiar to you, but obviously kind of sounds shitty, right? So what we're gonna want to do to soup up this REESE bass here, unison all the way, right? Unison is a must in the REESE bass zone. So that just added a whole new dimension to our sound, right? So 0 unison, nah, max. So max unison on that one. But personally for me, I think just one oscillator with a bunch of unison and the other one clean just kind of, helps hold the bass together a little bit better, in my opinion. So now we got our things sounding like this, right? That's not very bassy, so I'm actually going to go back to what I had, throw this down another octave because, it's the bass, it needs to be low. So now we're going to be sounding like this. Right? That's more my style for sure. So what you notice about REESE basses is, they always have movement, right? And this obviously has movement, but what really gives the REESE bass the movement is the detuning of the oscillators, as I kind of said before. So the way you can do that, messing with the fine tune. So what we can do is we can automate this unit with the LFO here. So throw the LFO on the fine tune. So as you can hear, we're starting off like all the way up at 100 on the fine tune, and then it's dropping it all the way down to like 20 something, right? Doesn't sound very good. So usually when you hear REESE basses, they're going up in tuning. So that's what we can do. Just switch the, switch the orientation around. Right? That sounds a lot better in my opinion. So yeah, now we got the basics of the REESE bass here. Now we're just gonna want to slap on some effects, some hyper dimension here. Usually I only go with hyper because the dimension just kind of, actually pardon me, they both sound pretty decent. We're gonna get the hyper and the dimension. We're gonna want some distortion for sure. Can't pass up distortion. And mind you, we're gonna want to cut the sub out of this anyway, so I'm just gonna do it right now. So low end for a REESE bass is gonna be really phasey as fuck, so it's not gonna sound great in your mix. So dedicated sub all the way for this unit. Then we're gonna move on to compressor, obviously multi-band, has to be. So now we got some basic effects on there, just the basic of the basic, right? So now we're going to go on to some more advanced things that you can do with your REESE basses. So I'm going to grab an empty LFO here, LFO 2. I'm going to put that back on envelope. We're going to kind of get a kind of pretty slow rate on here, like a bar or something, right? So LFO 2 is empty, so I'm going to assign LFO 2 to the master tuning. So that's going to be under global master tune. And the thing that you can do with this, actually learned this from Mr. Trisect, super dope. You can double click and say I want it to go up 2 octaves and then slope down, Do your conversion plus 24 ST for semitones, 2 octaves, boom, does the math for you. It's pretty dope, right? So yeah, now you're entering actual REESE bass territory here, right? Things are sounding pretty, they're getting there. So then I'm probably going to do some filter automation as well, just to kind of clean up some things, right? Because it's pretty kind of, it's pretty dirty right now, I can't lie. So I'll probably modulate the filter here with just like LFO 1, just because, it's kind of open enough. You can see without the filter, bit dirtier, and with it, bit cleaner. So, kind of meet in the middle, right? So after that, we got things sounding pretty good. So as I mentioned before, we want a dedicated sub, but we don't want just, any ordinary, just flat sine wave, right? We want an actual sub that matches the bass, that's being, played at the moment. So to do that, super easy. So I'll just come down here in the little sub category here. Right, so to do that, just getting one long note for the sub, just try to match the bass, kind of above here. Gonna get this serum nice and initialized here. I was told no OTT on subs, so we're gonna abide by that rule here, see how it turns out. So always leave your tips for me, because I'm dumb sometimes. Do is I'm just gonna load in a nice little sine wave, right? That sounds pretty good, but obviously that's not gonna match really what the bass up there is giving off, sub wise, right? Because if you think about REESE basses, if you ever been at like a big PA or something, they don't just sound like a flat sine wave, right? They kind of modulate, and their frequency is kind of modulated a bit, right? They have movement to their low end. So the way we can achieve that, really the same thing we did up there with the pitch bend. Throw it on envelope, set it to like a bar, and then just modulate, LFO 1 to the master tuning, and set that to plus 24 ST. Right, and what that's gonna do. Right, so now when we play both at the same time, we'll have a really nice low end and also a really nice high end, right? So yeah, that was how to make a REESE bass, and always keep in mind there's millions of variations you can do of different types of REESE basses. So definitely experiment with a bunch of different stuff. And yeah, as always, leave any critiques, tips, tricks down below, dumb shit I did, because we will all appreciate and benefit from it. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Rip a sub. Fuck yeah, REESE bass.